Hi, everybody. Happy New Year and welcome back to the North Central Washington MVP interview series brought to you by Career Connect Washington and the Apple STEM Network. My name is Carrie Horning. I'm your host, Career Connected Learning Specialist with the NCESD 171. Our goal today is pretty simple. It's just to introduce all of our community partners throughout North Central Washington to each other. And we've been doing this, believe it or not, this is going to be our fourth series. So this is round 4. And as I do each week, I like to remind you a win today looks like each of you leaving with a greater understanding of the work being done all around North Central Washington and how you might get involved. So sit back, grab your lunch, and get ready for an extra dose of professional nourishment, which is my tagline, and I might have to add that may or may not appear on a t-shirt around town at some point. So anyways, again, welcome everybody. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Faviola Barbosa. She is the Executive Director for Washington Apple Education Foundation. Her roots run deep in North Central Washington, specifically Orondo, and she's a proud Coug, so go Cougs. And kind of a fun fact, keeping true to her New Year's resolution to be more adventurous, her love of hiking in the outdoors is going to take her to Iceland later this year. So I just need to say, I'm telling you, that's my kind of New Year's resolution, and you might find me hidden away in your luggage. So don't be shocked. So this podcast means we are now best friends.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I love it. All right. So Faviola, welcome in, and thank you for being our first Career Connected Learning MVP. Are you ready to kick this off?
I am. I'm really excited and honored to be here. Yes, thank you.
Awesome. Well, we're honored to have you too. So let's get right into it because I know you are in the thick of the season right now. Tell us all about Washington Apple Education Foundation. What is it and what are you doing over there?
Okay, so the Washington Apple Education Foundation, also known as WAEF, is the charity of the tree fruit industry. We specifically represent apples, cherries, and the pears in our industry. And our mission, it is to impact lives through the educational opportunities. And we left that where we want to obviously provide scholarships to students. But yeah, it's a great organization.
Excellent. So the scholarships, that's kind of the key. That's the bulk of the information we really want to share today. And that's what you're thick into the season of. So tell us about the scholarship or scholarships that you offer and who qualifies for those.
So we have students that can qualify for our students or scholarships. They directly have to have a tie with the tree fruit industry. And as I mentioned, it has to specifically be cherries, pears, and apples. And so a student that comes from that direct industry can qualify for a scholarship, or a student that's interested in obtaining a degree and applying it towards the industry. And so that's where we're doing a lot of education, because a lot of students that come from the industry, sometimes, you think about the industry, you think it's just the hard labor, and that's the only work that's available. But there's so much more now. There's technology, there's business, there's accounting. So there's so many other degrees that can be incorporated into the industry, and that can become a career for them.
Oh, I love that. You know what? We're spending a lot of time right now at Career Connected Learning talking with all of our different districts and our students to say, listen, this is the case everywhere. If you are interested in agriculture or hospitality or healthcare, it does not matter. All of those have a multitude of different careers within, and under that umbrella. Manufacturing, so that I love that you're sharing that message with the students. And I love that it's not just students who are currently involved in the tree fruit industry, that students who want to be involved in it. That's terrific. So are there different types of scholarships, or is there just one broad scholarship that everybody applies the same for?
We do have 2 different types of scholarships. One of them is our universal scholarship, which is more of that 4-year degree at a university or college. And then we have a vocational, which is more of that technical degree. So if they wanted to do a 2-year refrigeration program or a 2-year computer science program, those would be the difference between the two applications. Excuse me.
Excellent. So is that only high school seniors, or is that also college students who maybe went, graduated from high school, went to college, and then decided what they wanted to do, can they also apply, or is it just seniors?
We do have some specific scholarships that indicate that it must be a high school senior, but the majority of our other scholarships are available to a college student that is currently enrolled. And so if this is your first year in college and you're looking at your finances, you can start applying because our applications are open right now and our deadline is March the 1st. And they that funding can go towards their following year.
Nice, very nice. Okay, love to hear that. So just to repeat, because I know that's super important, you said the deadline is March 1st?
Correct.
Okay, so like March 1st at 5 p.m. or February 20, whatever it is, 8th at 5 p.m.
It is March 1st at 11:59 p.m. And I will
Okay.
the last 10 minutes of March 1st is when we get all of those scholarships in at once.
Oh, I bet. You know what? We ran a program called Upskill. It's still running, but the first year that we ran from December 1st to December 31st. So my family and I spent New Year's Eve literally going through all of the, the entries that were coming in right at midnight. So I understand exactly what you're talking about. It makes me smile. So, okay, one thing that I saw on the website that I really thought was helpful that I'd love to have you tell us a little bit more about was there's a tips page. So, that's terrific when it comes to scholarships because it's so important to get it right. And your tips page is pretty, I think, thorough. But what's the most common mistake and how do you help the applicants avoid that?
A lot of the problems that we see is misspelled words when students submit their essays, or they simply don't answer the question to the essay. They'll give a 2, 3, 4 sentences, but they don't give us details of what that means. So our tips are great. And part of our program is actually we go out into the high schools and we present how to apply for scholarships. They are geared towards our scholarships, but we do give a lot of general information of how to answer the essay questions, what to look for, how to gather the information for your federal report, because you do have to do your financial aid application. And then how to fill out the information about your parents, because a lot of the applications do require that you provide that information of your background and your household income.
I love that. You know what? I like to think that the students are super lucky who, get to sit in that class and hear the tips because yesterday, when we had a little chance to kind of catch up before this interview, you said to me that honestly, you're really trying to screen students in to the scholarship process, not out of. So the fact that you have that tips page, the fact that you're out, in the schools, helping them learn how to do it is terrific. And as a career connected learning specialist, I see that really too as a life skill that's helping them learn how to not only fill out your application, but other applications and job applications. It's crucial not to have the spelling errors, et cetera. So good for you. So does that, another thing that we talked about that I wanted to kind of dial back to, because I think this is exactly where we're at. Is that what you were mentioning yesterday when you talked about wraparound services? Or tell us more about the wraparound services.
So once a student has been selected to receive our scholarships, they're part of the WAEF family. And we want to secure the student and make sure that they are successful for the duration of their college experience. And so what we do is we actually will pair them up with a mentor. We will provide networking opportunities. And if they're still kind of trying to figure out what they want to do as far as their career, we offer a career exploration where we actually take them out into the field with different employers and they can see the opportunities. They can do some job shadowing. They can ask questions. They can tour facilities and find out, once again, if we're looking at a packing shed, what are all those different opportunities that are available within that company? And we also do, we prep them with interviewing skills. We help them develop their resumes. And we do make sure that they're on track for their path. So if they're on a business track, that they're taking all of the courses that are appropriate for their pathway, as opposed to under basket weaving or something like that. That's not.
Yeah. That's terrific, because I did see as well on your website that 90% of the recipients from 2019 graduated or then came back and received, funding again. So that, I mean, right there, that tells that all the services are, doing exactly what they're supposed to be, supporting those students and getting them through, through the education pathway. So that's amazing. Good work. Good work.
We do have like 83% of our students are first generation students. And so being able to have someone to guide them and help them through the process and learn the system of higher education is really important for their success.
Yeah, agreed. That's terrific. I love the work that you're doing. So, okay, so we talked quite a bit about the scholarship, but I know it takes a lot behind the scenes to even get to being able to offer a scholarship. So let's talk a little bit about how can the community get involved with the Washington Apple Education Foundation? Are there events that they can participate in? Are there opportunities to volunteer? What does that all look like?
We have many opportunities for them to volunteer. As part of those wraparound services, something that we do is twice a year, fall quarter and spring quarter, or semesters, I should say, we prepare care packages to the students around finals. When you are at your low and you, don't have very many funds, but the stress because of school, we have a variety of volunteers that come in and they prepare care packages for our students and they mail them out. So a lot of the students, when they receive those, it can be little knickknacks of, pens, pencils, school supplies, but some of them get cookies or they get gift cards to order pizza or, Subway, things like that. It makes a difference for them because it reminds them that someone back home is cheering them on and telling them, you are at the end of that tunnel for this semester. You can totally be successful and pass your finals, and we'll see you when you come home. And so we do have volunteers that come in and do that for us. We also have
amazing.
That run some of they are facilitators for our workshops. So again, when we do interviewing skills, how to write your resume, those are opportunities that we take volunteers. And we have two big events where we do our fundraising. One of them is our golf tournament, and we have one both in Wenatchee and one in Yakima. And we have volunteers that come in and help us set up in the morning, work with the different golfers. And then we have two luncheons where we actually bring all of our students that have received scholarships and we present them to the community. And this is an opportunity as well to come in and volunteer or attend our luncheon and support these students and be able to see the different faces that our program supports.
That's terrific. So then the students are involved not only in, kind of a little bit of a, hey, celebratory, we are the group that was awarded the scholarships, but are they also kind of helping at the event then?
No, they are not. In the morning, actually, they actually attend workshops and we set them up by grade. And so they're learning about, again, academic advising, how to take advantage of different resources on campus. We have panels that, students, other previous students come in, alumni of ours, and talk about challenges or, different things like that. But we have an array of workshops for them in the morning. And then at noon, we have a luncheon and their parents are invited so that their parents are able to meet the donors as well. And this is a really big event. Last year, when we had both of our events, we had, I would say, 98% of our students that were in attendance, and the room, as we're calling them, we asked them to stay up front and just to see all of the faces and the impact that our donors are making. It's pretty phenomenal.
That's terrific. And I've got to imagine that's probably a great way for the students as they're, getting to the end of their college careers to maybe network as well for, future jobs.
Yes, because we do strategically place our students, one, with our donors, and two, if there's an accounting student, we'll sit them with an accounting business so that they can start making those connections once again. Yeah. That's
brilliant. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. Okay, now one thing that I saw on the website as well that I did not ask you about yet, and I think maybe it falls kind of under this conversation, is there's a license plate that's offered.
Yes. Yeah. I have to bring in my simulation. We have these license plates and they're pretty cool. If you pay $30 for the license plate, and it is more if you have one custom made. So if you want a specific message on it, but out of each one of those plates, we received $28. And over the 2 years that this program has existed, we've been able to bring in an additional revenue of $50,000 because people are supporting us that way. And these funds go directly to our students. When you look at how our funding is administered, 87% of the dollars that come into our door are applied to directly services to our students.
That's amazing. So did I hear that right? If I want to go out and buy that license plate for my car, it's $30, but you get 28. The foundation gets 28.
Correct.
Wow, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Hopefully after this interview, we're going to see a lot more license plates out there. That's an easy, that's an easy go-to. So awesome. Well, as we're talking about the students too, and networking and all the support services that you give, if you've seen any of my previous podcasts, this is my favorite question. I always like to kind of give our audience a little bit of a, that heart pulling the heartstrings. So is there a student or a specific event that has stayed with you, because you're out there helping so many different students and there's so many different stories. Is there anything that has stayed with you that you could share with us?
Well, being that I'm new, I'm barely coming up on my 1-year anniversary. I have to say that for me, my moment over the year, I have two, there's two. I would say when we go out and we present the awards to students, because we actually, for high school students that receive our awards, we go into the school districts and it's like being an MVP. They have front row parking for us, everything. We come in and we make these announcements for these students that they have received a WAEF scholarship. And it's pretty phenomenal because their parents attend as well. And so I would say that is one really cool moment. And my other moment that has been memorable is at our luncheon. We had one of our students, our alumni students, come back. Alex Fapi came back and presented on his journey of and his experience with WAEF. And at the end, he graduated from WSU and he had his WSU sash. And he was talking about how his sash, he's supposed to present it to someone that made an impact for him. And he felt that his family, his parents, he presented them with his college degree. And that was their present to them as thank you for supporting me. But he felt that his sash needed to come to WAEF. And so he presented it to me at the luncheon and he put it on me. And it was just so cool to see a student express that, that gratefulness. Mm-hmm. And for me to be on the other end, and even though I wasn't part of his journey because I just came onto WAEF, I still felt that it was an honor, and and my predecessor definitely did, all of the heavy lifting, and so yeah, it was really cool to be there.
Yeah, that's amazing. Those are the stories. Like I said, it's my favorite question of the podcast because that's what we can all connect with. I mentioned it too, with this podcast runs from 12:15 to 12:45. We know everybody is multitasking, but we definitely like to have that moment where you hear like what you're doing and it makes a difference, and you can actually incorporate other community entities, and that's why we really try to get this out there to our business partners and our educators, counselors, and CTE directors. I really think that hearing those stories, that's what it's all about, making the difference. So congratulations. I'm sure you're going to have many, many more of those in the years to come. So very cool. And thanks for sharing that. So we're doing pretty well on time here, but I wanted one thing, before we kind of wrap it up. I noticed that picture behind you as we were starting and made a comment on that. Can you tell us, there's a little bit of a program kind of behind that as well?
Yes. So every year we have what we call YODA, Year of the Apple contest. And we open this up to all of the high school students, 9 through 12, and they can enter in their art pieces. And we have that, the deadline is May 1st. May 1st is our deadline. And we have we usually pick out three, first place, second place, and third place. And our first place winner, what will happen is they will get $1,000 check in recognition, but then their piece is featured in our calendar. Oops, I have it upside. Nice. I have it featured in our calendar for the 2020, the following year. and we distribute these throughout the state. We have a lot of companies that order these, and we send those out, but the student is recognized. And this year, that art piece is called Ascending Apples, and it was actually a student from Chelan High School that won that. And so as a first place winner, she won $1,000 for her artwork, and was recognized, obviously. And then we have 2 other students that were were recognized as second and third place. But their art program also wins a stipend as well so that they can continue to have supplies in their department. And
that's terrific.
Yeah.
So when does the deadline is in May? You said May 1st, is that correct?
May 1st, yes.
So when does it open? When does that
It's open right now. And so anyone that would be interested, they can either go to our website and they can download the information, because there is an entry form, or call our office, and we would be happy to send that information out.
That's terrific. I have to say, you know, for all the other school districts that might be listening, because the North Central Washington, or I'm sorry, the North Central Educational Service District, we service 29 different school districts, but everybody else, I got to give you, you know, a little bit of, let's get that competitive nature going. Chelan, they had a winner too with another event that we did. It was an agricultural forum, and one of their students won, attended the event and participated in the post survey. So Chelan's coming in strong lately. We gotta get the competition going. I live out in Georgia, so I'm kind of a Quincy gal. That was my alma mater. So anyways, let's go schools. We gotta jump in there and get busy. So what a great opportunity. And I have to say, what a pleasure, you know, to learn more about this. I know you and I worked a little bit together in a previous life with Big Bend Community College, but hearing about everything that's happening with the scholarship is super exciting. And I know we're in the thick of it. I have 2 daughters who went through this whole time frame of, you know, the stress of trying to fill out high school scholarships, et cetera. So I know it's on everybody's mind. So I want to make sure that 2 things. One, that everyone knows that I'm going to distribute this. So this will be sent out to all the different schools, counselors, community partners. So we'll make sure that it's up on our YouTube channel. But then also I want to check in, is there anything else, Faviola, that you want to share with us about, you know, the foundation that maybe we didn't get to yet?
I will make the comment that one really cool thing about our scholarship is that we want to make sure that the student is able to apply it in their best interest. And by that, I mean, if a student is awarded a scholarship through us, they can defer their scholarship for up to 2 years. So sometimes students get a lot of money up front from financial aid, and we don't want to have that taken away from them. So we will hold their scholarship so that they can use those federal dollars first, and then we can start sliding those other funds in as well.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Talk about accounting. I mean, talk about having a job in the fruit industry for, you know, accounting and such. That's terrific. So one question about the scholarship that I neglected to ask: do the students have to be attending an in-state Washington State College, or can they be out of? Okay, all right.
They do have to be Washington State residents to apply, but student wants to go, because we do have some students out of state. We have quite a bit of students actually out of state. BYU, Hawaii, so we have some students all over. Yeah.
Okay, very good. That's good to know. So excellent. Well, again, let me say too, I know we've got somebody else here on live with us. If there are any questions, go ahead and put it in the chat or just interrupt me. And if not, I think what we'll end up doing here is just kind of wrapping up a little bit early. And when we do that, I always just say, I'm going to give you back 5 minutes of your time. But I do want to reiterate the fact that if you need a Sherpa or, you know, any assistance in Iceland, I'm your gal. You know, I can be a lot of fun, or I can be very quiet if I need to. So, but that's going to be amazing.
Great. I was going to ask, you know, as far as if individuals have questions, you know, please feel free to call our office. We're at 509-663-7713. We would love to answer any questions. You can definitely go to our website, which is WAEF, WAEF.org, and obtain some of this information. But I appreciate this opportunity, and you know, go Cougs and all the other schools as well.
That's right, right. Well, good. I will make sure that I include all of that information. I'll hyperlink the WAEF website when I upload this, and yeah, we'll share it out far and wide. And I say, bravo to all of you at the foundation and the work that you're doing. That's absolutely amazing. And then, lucky students who are out there applying for and then earning these scholarships. I mean, to have that type of support is really phenomenal. So it's just a great program, and again, why we're highlighting you. So thanks again for being one of our MVPs and like I said, our first of our fourth round. And yeah, we will see you on the other side.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Yeah.